Alrighty guys, it is time for our second series of Masters Coliseum 8 Group B Day 2, 4th play day. Reynor in the top right side is the Italian stallion representing BASILISK. He is 1-0 in this group. He had a 2-1 victory over MaxPax. MaxPax is already done. MaxPax won his other two series, but lost against Reynor. SKillous had a really good first day if you ask me. 1-2 loss against MaxPax in PvP. Hey, we'll take that. And a 2-0 victory over Rogue. But unfortunately for Nikita, with that result between Rogue and MaxPax, it basically just means that he needs to win this game. If SKillous does not win this game, this group is done. And that final ZVZ is just bonus to figure out who finishes where and seeding implications. This is the one that matters, guys. It really is. Scenario, Reynor wins this 2-0 or 2-1. And Reynor and MaxPax move on. SKillous wins 2-0 or 2-1. He moves on. It depends how the last match. Well, if SKillous wins, then it could still be a three-way tie. Like if SKillous wins 2-1, there could be a perfect three-way tie. If Reynor then beats Rogue 2-0, because then it's just perfect, right? MaxPax beats 2-1. Yeah, so if it's a 2-0, then it's done. If it's a 2-1, there could be a perfect three-way tie. Rogue is done. But SKillous needs to win this. If SKillous doesn't win this series, this group is done and it's Reynor and MaxPax advancing. He has the tiebreaker over MaxPax? No, because Reynor beat MaxPax. Oh yeah, MaxPax won only 2-1 against Rogue. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It can be a perfect three-way. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, if SKillous wins 2-1... Then Max, yeah. Correct, sorry guys. No three-way ties. No three-way ties. But SKillous needs to win. Let's keep it simple. SKillous needs to win. If SKillous wants to advance, he needs to win. If he doesn't, he's out. And ley lines is our opening map. SKillous looked damn good yesterday in this matchup. Reynor found a lot of success with very early tiny Ling. Can't even really call it counterattacks, but Ling pokes to some degree. As Reynor does that again and he gets one of the adepts. That's obviously going to make him feel good. He's going to force his Oracle to activate Pulsar Beam. Reynor really wants to get a cancel on the Nexus, but he doesn't get it. SKillous with balls of steel decides to keep that Nexus alive, does not cancel it, saves it, and gets 4 drones on the other side of the map. Strong start by SKillous. Very strong start by SKillous. The mustachio power. Maybe Reynor has a full-grown beard right now. We don't even see him. It's possible. Like he looks like he's been spending 3 months in Dagestan. Speaking of, yesterday, guys, our Romanian Terran player Cuckoo had his first ever amateur MMA fight. Stepped into the ring. He did not win, he lost on decision, but he did make it to the end, apparently against a guy that had way more experience, because he had like 9 or 10 fights under his belt. But Cuckoo stepped into the ring, and he went to distance. I'm proud of Cuckoo. He let me know that he's totally okay, no damage, no harm. And, well, it was obviously, he said he was a bit scared, because the guy was good, and he said before he fought, there were some other people that actually got knocked out. Somebody was apparently knocked out for 5 minutes. Romanian MMA amateur circuit. Definitely, I think, risky business. But proud of Cuckoo. Even if he didn't win. Stepping into the ring takes a lot of courage. Going to distance with someone who has more experience. But our boy is okay. And he's a warrior. SKillous drops a revelation to keep track of what Reynor is doing. I think he spotted the... Did he see that mailing nest? Shows that vision then. Shows SKillous his vision. I want to say I think he did. It's a lot of Zerglings indeed coming out of Reynor. Reynor's economy is not mega because he has produced so many Zerglings. It almost feels that Reynor is going old school dark here, where it's just a crazy amount of links with +1 melee, banelings, and maybe some queens going to the other side of the map. But Reynor mentioned that he thinks Amygdala is a massive map. I think this is a big map too. Now he is still droning, but it is safe to say that if Reynor makes that many units, that he either wants to get something done or he was maybe expecting SKillous to be a bit more aggressive. SKillous wants to get a cancel on this hatchery. This time it doesn't work out for him. Ends up losing one of the oracles and he does not get the cancel. Reynor taking notes out of the playbook of SKillous. Yeah, a bit of the same scenario. SKillous did not cancel, Reynor doesn't cancel. And both of the times the player that does not cancel gets rewarded. Overall, still, I think a decent game by SKillous, though. He's definitely done things alright. Drops the revelation here. He's going to try to push the creep back a little bit. Unfortunately for him, he barely missed that creep tumor on the right. It is Hydras and Lynx, and I think if the Zealot count goes up, Reynor will get Banelings. But you don't want to make Banelings against just Stalkers and Oracles. That's not really the play. There's another big stasis trap here. There's back-to-back solid stasis traps on the side of SKillous. Zealot charge about to finish up. Reynor did obviously have all those links stuck in the stasis. They're about to come in from the bottom left side of our screen, guys, and I hope that SKillous keeps track of that. He left a few Zealots behind, but here come those Zerglings, and this actually could be going a little bit problematic for the Protals. Yeah, he's definitely going to lose a couple Stalkers. And Stalkers are expensive now, and Archon is misrallied. If Reynor sees it, he could go for that one with the Zerglings, with the Hydras, but the Lings are too busy chasing those Stalkers back. Still good for Reynor though, because he's getting a lot of the Stalkers. The Stalker count is dwindling. The Archon might even have a hard time making it home safely, because it's obviously not quite as mobile as the Zealots and the Stalkers. But now it is Lair Tech on the side of Reynor. It's very important to keep in mind. But Lair Tech is not bad if there is no Colossus Immortal Storm to worry about. Like Hydra Link will actually do alright against just Link Stalkers and Zealots. And maybe a random Oracle. SKillous is missing cannons and batteries here, guys. With cannons and batteries, I think he'd be in a really good spot. Without it, I still think it's going to be hard for him. The Hydra count is pretty damn high. Reynor is definitely committed here. 9 minutes into ley lines. Does not have a lurker den, does not have hive tech, does not have an infestation pit. He's got a lot of hatcheries, but doesn't have a crazy amount of drones. SKillous fires up Storm. Here come the extra Zerglings for Reynor. Here come the Banelings as well. Does he have Baneling speed, by the way? Because I feel like I never saw that. But I assume if we're making this many Banelings, he should have Baneling speed. We're gonna see the Banes. He does have it. Reynor has a Baneling speed. SKillous sets up a tiny Zealot counterattack. I think this game comes down to the next 40 seconds. If SKillous can somehow deal with all the Banes, all the Zerglings, all the Hydras, that's a good job on the High Templar. Saves it as well. 5 Banelings do nothing. First 20-30 seconds go good for SKillous. Storm is getting closer and closer to finishing up. The 5 bases doesn't matter, mate. Reynor is very committed here. Reynor could have 12 bases. This attack needs to work. If this attack does not work, Reynor is in trouble. Now it is definitely going to work to some degree, because I think this Nexus is Omega dead. Reynor might still want a little bit more. Reynor's supply is big. SKillous is waiting. He has a Storm now. I should have at least 2 Storms, I guess. That's the first one. Yeah, first one is not bad. The second one is also good. So SKillous holds, but yeah, he held while losing the 4th base, losing some workers. Zealots did not get too much done, but he is confident. Maybe a little bit too confident. I'm not sure about that forward blink. SKillous is playing really well. SKillous is playing really good. +2 melee is done on the side of Reynor, and Reynor is just gonna go for it again. Does not want to see SKillous stabilize on 4 bases. Baneling count is quite high this time, and Banelings may not be great against Stalkers, but if you have this many and they connect, it's going to be good. The Storm is okay-ish, but in the end the Banelings still do their thing. And Reynor gets another cancel on the 4th base. While this is happening, there are still Zealots running to the other side of the map. Reynor does have an answer for them. This game is close, man. It's properly on a knife's edge. And the creep here is useful, but SKillous drops the revelation. It's a supplies are getting a little bit close to the army supply that is, as Reynor has done a good job in droning up a little bit in the midst of all these attacks. No cancel! That final exchange makes me feel that now it's better for Reynor. No cancel there is painful, guys, because SKillous is not that rich. Now, Reynor is not going to make roaches. I don't think roaches do a lot for him at all. Reynor will continue making Hydras, Lings, and Banes, and then slowly transition into Lurkers. But obviously does not want to give SKillous all the time in the world to stabilize on 10 High Templars with infinite amounts of Storm and another base. And Reynor is playing this out very well. SKillous is taking a better fight this time, but a lot of these Stalkers are like 2 or 3 Hydra hits away from dying. And it's a bit of a domino effect sometimes. Once 1 or 2 Stalkers die, they all die. That's not quite the case. I think SKillous can't quite chase. I think going this deep on creep and now battling the Queens, so I think this is a mistake on the side of SKillous. Maybe he felt that Reynor was completely out of steam, but Reynor definitely still had units, and the Queens are so useful here, guys. They're so good in buying time, absorbing all these Stalker shots, letting the Zerglings and Hydras do their thing. Sick game. Another sick game here in Group B. It's a group that a lot of us were very excited for. A group that has absolutely delivered. I'm not feeling this fight for SKillous. Even though Reynor doesn't have a crazy amount of Hydras, but I'm just not feeling it. Because you don't have the War Prism, you don't have the immediate reinforcements, you're so deep on creep. And if you're that deep on creep, Stalkers become very, very vulnerable. The must win, a best of 3, is off to, I think, potentially a rough start here for SKillous, as he's gonna try to get this base up one more time. Yeah, Reynor, his Hive Tech is about to finish up, and Reynor can start getting his first Lurkers. And dealing with Lurkers, if you have obviously no Tempest, no Mothership, no Immortals, is going to be so difficult. 6 Lurkers on the way. Hive is indeed about to finish up. I think Reynor has done it. That a 20 worker advantage that he's been working with is really starting to show right now. This is obviously a very important game for SKillous, so he's not just gonna give up, but I think SKillous knows that he was close. Unfortunately, was not quite able to end it. It is the Queens that I think really made the difference there defensively. Without the Queens, it could have been hard. But Reynor still having all those Queens from the early game, allowing himself to get a few more units out and so deep on creep. No, SKillous sees that it's not just Hydras and Lings anymore. It's not just the Lair Tech Zerg. It's Lurkers. And with Lurkers, we can tap out. GG. Reynor takes the 1-0 lead. And that means Reynor is 1 map away from advancing into the playoffs of the Masters Coliseum 8. Not bad for a guy who has been streaming frightening amounts of League of Legends. It's not just like a couple of games here and there. He's not just trying to unwind after a long day of StarCraft, no. Frightening amounts of League. Yet, our boy's kind of cooking. I agree with you, Kilvar. I think that was a really big moment where SKillous was not quite able to cancel that 4th base. He obviously didn't have a lot of money. He was nowhere near maxed out. And then losing 400 minerals by not being able to cancel your Nexus. The straw that broke the camel's back. Or, as we would say in Dutch, de druppel die de emmer deed overlopen. You guys want to make a guess what that means? Dutch people, don't spoil it. De druppel die de emmer deed overlopen. What do you guys think that means? And don't spoil it if you're Dutch or Belgium. Do you think that Frost Line is the snow version of Ley Lines? No, I think they're pretty different. Master Chovo is correct. The only natural scenes. Roddy, any TV shows, series recommendations? I am a very big fan of Seal. I don't know if a lot of you guys have watched Seal, but I love Seal. I love Jason Hayes. I love Ray. I loved Clay. I love Sonny. I think Seal is awesome. If you like army stuff, if you love America, Seal is great. Outside of Seal, is there anything else that I've watched recently? Yeah, I finished the Shrinking Season 2. I think Shrinking is a very fun, nice, easy watch show. That's about it. Jack Ryan is more than decent. I love Jack Ryan too, yeah. In general, I'm a big fan of a lot of the FBI, CIA, and Navy SEAL shows. I think they're always kind of cool. Anything that screams America, fuck yeah. Makes me kind of happy. You think Landman is awesome? I've never heard of Landman. Shrinking Season 2 last episode is on the 25th of December. I thought it was already over, mate. I didn't even know there was a new episode coming. You just got me excited. I thought the season ended. Another birthday ruined. Spoiler, but that doesn't say anything, guys. Top right side of Frost line. It is obviously our Russian Dutch Protoss representing Team Liquid SKillous. Even if this group stage will be his final destination in this tournament, don't forget there were qualifiers leading into this tournament. SKillous did not get invited. He had to qualify, and he battled his way through a lot of great players. And he has looked great in this group stage. Bottom left side, it is the man that did get invited. And I would almost say, fortunately so, it is BASILISK Reynor. I'm not even certain if he would have tried to qualify us, guys. Nah, he would have, for sure. I'm joking. I watched Reacher too, yeah. I liked Reacher. I've seen a lot of shows this year, man. Watched more TV this year than I did in the past. If Reynor wins this, do you think there's a chance that we saw him go PvZ as Rogue? Oh yeah, I didn't think about it yet, I'm Trumdo, but I think there is more than a chance. I think it's very likely to happen. Any casting events coming up? I feel like I'm casting an event right now. The next cast on this channel will actually be, well, first we have one later this afternoon, Community StarCraft. Tomorrow night we'll do something for Jumi. Friday night we do the big rain bouts. LAN events. No, I guess the first one would be Home Story Cup 27, but I already said last time that I think I might not cast Home Story Cups anymore. And obviously I love Home Story Cup, and I will still go and I will hang out. I think after doing 25 of them, I think I'm okay with just going as a fan. Sitting in the basement, play 3 days of poker. I'll definitely make more money because they're all very bad. But nobody clipped that. And I just want to drink beer, wake up late, socialize, not worry about my voice. So I will go there. The tournament in Bulgaria I'd probably cast if they ask me again. If they ask me to go to Stara Zagora once more, I'd probably cast that. Home Story Cup is on the 27th of June. I mean, I'm going in circles every single day, guys. But we're obviously all still waiting on whether or not there will be a circuit, there will be Esports World Cup. If there is, then obviously I'd love to be a part of that. If there isn't, then I'm certain that there will be some other events. But which events, who organizes them, when will they be ran, how big will they be, I don't know. I'm completely clueless. We will see. No way Elaser is bad at poker. Elaser actually played a little bit of poker with Zenster. They played as a tag team. Because I think they had a couple drinks. They were just having a good time with each other. They were very giggly. They came in with 20 bucks. They lost it. Then they rebought with 50. They went all in against me. They got it in at like 22%. We ran it 4 times. They won 3 out of 4. Don't ask me how that happened, but straight out of the show. Felt like Phil Hellmuth over there, but I wasn't angry because they were having a really good time. And then they left with like a $30 profit or something. Or 30 euro profit. But Elaser is not that good in poker. Only, I would say out of everybody, it's just like Todd is obviously kind of good. Molten, who was in the chat earlier. Multi is one of the better guys. There was one more, man, that I'm not that familiar with. And I forgot his name, but it was like Shriek or Shriek, something like that. Nice guy. I think he was not great, but he ran good and he was okay. The rest is not very good. People play for fun, though. Wardy is not bad. Wardy kind of knows what he's doing. Not great. And Wardy is a tiny bit of a degen. You guys may not expect it, but Wardy has a lot of bluffs in his range. Let's put it like that. Wardy is a bit of a degen, but he's not bad. Compared to most people, he's good. And same goes for Loco. But Loco is the opposite of Wardy. Loco is like Omega tight. Zombie Grub did very good, yeah. She got lucky. Somebody gave her 50 bucks after she lost her money. She played with it. Then she doubled up through the guy that gave her 50 bucks. And then she doubled up through him again. So somebody gave Zombie Grub 50 bucks. And then ZG took like 250 off the guy that gave him 50 bucks. And she's like, here you go, have your 50 bucks back. And he's like, yeah, well, the 50 was fine, but losing 200 extra wasn't fine. Exactly, Nux, that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, no. ZG is not bad compared to some of the other people, but obviously, poker is like StarCraft. You just need to play a lot, you need to have experience. And of course, there's way more luck involved in poker than StarCraft, but in the end, it all comes down. It has nothing to do with, oh, Roddy, are you so smart? No, I've just played a crazy amount of poker in my life, which is not fair compared to other people that have played little. But everybody knows that. They all know what they're getting into. And if they want help with anything, I tell them. Once I start winning, I let people off the hook as well. Like, I don't want to lose. But once I'm winning, I'm very honest. I'm like, you should fold. And then I show my hands as well. Serral has never played one hand with us. I don't think he plays at all. Reynor has played a couple hands. But most of the time, Reynor shows up and then he asks me or Vicky for some money. And then we give him money and then he loses it and he leaves. And he's like, this is why I don't gamble. It's like, well, you did with my money. 8 minutes into Frostline, a must-win game for Nikita, as we obviously had fun yapping about Homestead Cup, but this is a thing where we need to start paying a little more attention. Nothing like mega important has happened. It's just been a very macro-oriented game. This is a pretty decent army on the side of SKillous, but Arena's got a lot of roaches. Got a couple ravages as well, so Force Wheels are not scared. Ron Immortal gets surrounded. Oh, the War Prism is AFK, guys, in the bottom of our screen, but the Archon saved the Immortal, so that's good. Isn't Reynor a millionaire? I don't know. I don't ask him. But I think the Italian taxman probably has something to say about that. The Dutch taxes ain't easy, but the Italian ones ain't easy either, so... Reynor has obviously done exceptionally well for himself as a young man, but... I think Millionaire is pushing it a little bit. He did talk about the Hawk 2 coin. Couple drones are dying in the third base of Reynor. Reynor has a little Zergling counterattack in the bottom right side. Starts working on some probes. Somehow only kills 2 there. I felt like more probes should have gone down. Hive tag is done. It's 9 minutes and Hive is done. Lurkers are on the way. Reynor actually fired up Vipers too. Now, I don't know if they hatched or if he cancelled them. I'd kind of be surprised if he cancels them. The Viper is a bit of a hot topic right now. Because a lot of high level Zergs feel very strongly that making Vipers is just wrong. Because you can't quite get the value out of them that you're looking for. I'm not certain if I totally agree yet. I'd have to see just more games on this patch. And I think it obviously often comes down to execution and it comes down to tiny windows. StarCraft 2 is a game of incomplete information and hiding stuff can still make it very powerful. Big roach counter by Reynor is gonna one-shot an Immortal. Is gonna make his way into the natural. That's 1 pylon, guys. 1 pylon powering 2 robos. Actually, there's 2 pylons. I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter. Reynor says, I'm not gonna kill the pylons, I'm gonna kill the robos, baby. Oh, that's big. Sniping both of the robotics facilities is pretty big. Now he's going to lose a lot of roaches in return though, so it wasn't for free. And it's also not like SKillous doesn't have any Immortals. No, but that base in the bottom right side is now exposed, and I think SKillous already used a Rico on his main army into his main to deal with all those roaches. So SKillous, I think, is going to lose his 4th base here. I want to say that is inevitable, and it's already dead. He's got a lot of Immortals. This is not quite a GG game over yet. I think a game like this can go on for a very long time. SKillous' tournament life is on the line. It is a must-win game for him, or Group B is a wrap. I don't know if hilarious is really the word I would use for Noxy, but sure. I don't think anybody in StarCraft though. I have never really ran into one StarCraft fan or player that's like, you know, I love the Hawk Tua lady. And if she ever gets into crypto, I'm gonna buy all her coins. No, that is a conversation that has never taken place. I guarantee you that. Roaches and Hydras killed the Nexus. No cancel on that one. Perhaps not as painful as in the last game, but it obviously never helped. 400 minerals down the drain as SKillous is trying to keep this army away from... He is a third base. I mean, losing fourth bases sucks, but if you start losing third bases, well, then you just become Omega broke for a very, very long time. I think this fight, though, should go alright for SKillous. That is a lot of immortals, and it goes more than alright. Reynor is just dealing a lot of economic damage. On top of that, he's been dealing a lot of damage to the infrastructure as well. He keeps on killing gateways, pylons, robos early, and he's killed 30 probes here with a couple of Hydras that he split off into the natural as well. I think SKillous is gonna send it here. If you're SKillous at this point, I think you say, you know what, this is it. If I'm gonna sit back, he's gonna get too rich, his bank will be too big, and he can take a lot of bad fights and still be okay. If I'm SKillous here, I go for it. One final Hail Mary. Similar to, who was it against the Washington Commanders? Was it I don't know who it was. Somebody played against the Washington Commanders sometime this season. And they needed a Hail Mary. The Chicago Bears, yeah, that's right. They don't win a lot, but they did win that one. Now SKillous, fortunately for him, wins a little bit more than the Chicago Bears. But this is his Hail Mary play. It is now or never. Going home is silly. Just rally everything you have. You of course want to make sure you don't get eliminated by Zerglings, but that would take a little while. You can always leave one flying unit at home. This is it for SKillous, and he knows it. He's gonna have to take a spectacular fight, but it's so hard running into those lurkers. I think Chicago is cool, by the way, Demure. I've got no issue with the Bears, but aren't they like 3-11 now or something? I don't think they're making the playoffs. You know, I'm not trying to slander Chicago or the Bears or any Bear fans out there, but I don't think they're making the playoffs. SKillous is going to still try to make the playoffs in the Masters Coliseum as he hopes that this is perhaps that fight that he was looking for. Drops a couple storms. Still has a lot of units alive. I think an extra carrier is on the way. He's got a shot, guys. 33 workers and a dream. I can't do it because my audio is messed up, but it's all good. 90 army supply for SKillous. The High Templars are so exposed. Don't lose them. He's going to try to bring them into safety. Is there no detection here? I guess there is for Reynor, but it was a little bit too far away. He did lose like 3 out of the 5 High Templars, but he still has a few storms remaining. The problem, by the way, guys, for SKillous now is that once carriers start attacking and you drop storms on the Zerg, your storm also kills your interceptors. And that's sometimes bad, sometimes you don't care. But if you don't have any money, if you barely have any income, yeah, that's really bad. Because these carriers are important. And the longer this goes on, the less and less likely it is that SKillous, by the way, still on 3 bases, somehow. Kind of thought he went, well, I don't know if that lurker is still being annoying at the third. But a 36 probe, SKillous now does have a solid run by in the top left side. These PVZs have been straight up fire in this group, man. Masters Coliseum really delivering in that regard. Opening weekend was okay. Group B is the one that we were all looking forward to, and it has delivered. SKillous is close. He's making Reynor work for it. I don't know if this is gonna go his way, but I refuse to believe that he's dead. As long as he's got this mothership, as long as he's got storms, immortals, and a couple carriers, he's got a shot. It's not that Reynor is on like 80 drones and is about to build 25 corrupt. Oh, the Hydras could snipe the carrier there. The Hydras are not gonna snipe the carrier because SKillous is paying attention. Reynor has 33 army supply more. He's got 4 more Hydras on the way, so it's about to become 40. But SKillous got a powerful army, guys. Archons, Immortals, Carriers, the Storm drops the Revelation. Thank you, Vintage Crispy Matey, for the 59 months. I meant, okay. Armies are close to each other. It's not fake hype, guys. I really think there was still a chance for SKillous for a while. There's still a tiny chance, but obviously the longer this game goes on, the worse it gets. Because now Reynor is close to maxing out, so his army is going to be massive. SKillous' army is also growing. It's not growing at a rapid pace, but it is growing. And SKillous still has the stronger units. I still don't think it's 100% over. I was like, man, what do I hear? But apparently it's hailing. Is that a thing? It's like the little ice balls are coming from the sky. Do we call that hailing, or hail is coming down, whatever? It's not quite snow, but we're getting a tiny bit of a white Christmas over here. It look pretty big. I'm glad I'm not outside. That would hurt. There are Vipers on the way now. And obviously, if Reynor can land a few abducts on carriers, that's mega. Because SKillous did not have the economy to rebuild carriers for a long time. Sleet, if it is called. Actually, there's a lot. I don't hear a lot when I'm wearing my earbuds, but it gets pretty noisy. And suddenly I hear like tick, 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 and I was like, what? What's happening? No. Basically, that's how it looks outside right now. Reynor has a great circling attack. Cancel that base, Nikita. That's at least the third time in this series, if not the fourth time. And he is not rich, guys. He is not in any position to be losing 400 minerals. 117 army supply for the Protoss and a Dream. Every second that goes by, Reynor is going to be more and more well equipped of dealing with this army. He's got some extra spores. He's got Vipers. They're going to get energy. My hope for SKillous is fading. And it's starting to look like Reynor is going to bulldoze his way into the playoffs of the Masters Coliseum. I know they have something like a Blink Dagger in the league that every hero has. They have like a tiny jump forward. I forgot how it's called. It's not called Dash. It's not called Leap. It's definitely not a Blink Dagger. But there is an ability in League of Legends heroes that can make them jump. I'm starting to have the feeling that Reynor may very well be jumping straight in to the round of 8. Is it called Flash? Lol. They knew. Definitely not Magic Card to you. No Warp Stone Winged. I mean, but as long as this Protoss army is here, like obviously you can't call it. You cannot call this game 100% over. We have seen Protoss players win way more miraculous games than this. But I also am starting to feel like I'm being silly, where Reynor is maxed out now, is starting to have money in the bank, starting to have a better and better army, but if I thought it was 100% over, I legitimately would say so. I don't think it is. I think SKillous still has a shot. And it comes down to execution, it comes down to abducts, feedbacks, a storm. 99% over? No, I don't agree with that either. Like, this is big, because SKillous cannot rebuild these kinds of units very quickly. I wouldn't even say this is 99% over. I don't know what I would say, like 70-30 for Reynor? 75-25? No more than that. Versus a lesser Zerg, there's a chance on Reynor. I mean, I agree, but if you think what makes Reynor great, in general it is speed, right? It's the run bys, it's multitasking, it's spreading creep, hitting ejects while taking good fights. That's not this kind of game anymore. This game now comes down to one proper engagement with a couple storms and feedbacks. And if SKillous lands one good time warp, drops a couple big fat storms, SKillous has a shot here. And to say that he doesn't, I think is crazy. Now, I'm also not saying that he's going to win. I just think it's still a game. In a very bizarre way, this is still a game. That is true, Chess, but he's got Archons, Immortals, a Mothership, and Storm. Like it's a battle of the spellcasters, I think. Reynor does obviously have some money. Reynor can remax, but 2200 minerals, 1500 gas. It's not like Reynor is going to rebuild an entire army. By the way, PS3 against Feyenoord has started. Today we will determine whether or not we'll be passionate about the Dutch League for the rest of the year. Or if the Champions League is the only thing we care about. 2 High Templars is expensive. They're coming in by themselves. Oh, SKillous, that's not stuff you can do very often. Reynor is going to go for it. Reynor is going to be the one who actually jumps on top of the army of SKillous. That does mean that storms could connect in a big way. Parasitic Bomb is all over the carriers, the Tempest, the Mothership. I think the Hydras, Corruptors, and Lurkers reign supreme. SKillous expected a lot of things. He did not expect that. Great fight by Reynor. Starts off by sniping a couple of these High Templars. I think at this point, we can safely say that Reynor is flashing his way into the round of 8. Not bad, guys. For a man who some people said shouldn't even be invited. Why did he get invited? Well, maybe this is why. After 2 series, Reynor is already done with Group B. He took down Max Pax yesterday in spectacular games 2-1. And today, he had to work for it, but it does seem like he's going to take out SKillous 2-0. SKillous split up his army a little bit. He didn't have everything in one place anymore. And right when that happened, it was Reynor who sees a great engagement. Comes in from almost 3 different angles. And is obviously very decisive. Jumped all over the Protoss army. And SKillous couldn't get the value out of his units. Is Feyenoord even making it out the league phase? Yes, mate. We're already in the playoffs. At least 99% certain, Mr. Chogo. Feyenoord has 10 points. And according to all the supercomputers, if you have 10 points, you're like 99% through into the next phase. SKillous is going to be able to drop a few more fat storms before it is all over. He obviously knows that it is all over. GG gets called. BASILISK Reynor flashes into the round of 8. Now the only question is that going to be in first or second place? We'll see him in one more series today. Well done. Fun series. Very fun second game. First game was honestly kind of close as well, but Reynor just still looking good. For a man who has not been very fond of ZVP for a while, he's freaking good in it. I actually think that this patch, like the removal of battery overcharge, even if Reynor will find other things that he may not like about the matchup, I think it suits Reynor's style a bit more. Because it allows the circling run-bys to just be a little bit more impactful and have some more potential.